Dai, family, and welcome to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. That's how we greet ourselves among the Agikoyo Nation. And I thought I'm going to start, it's a new era, it's a new dispensation. And so why not, start it with a new greeting, which I've returned to. It's not so much as a new, as a return, as a revival, as a reconnection. And it just basically means, may just the grace and the abundance and the great mercy, great everything beautiful be upon you. And that's even how we address our Maker when we go and pray to the highest divine one, the most high creator that is omniscient, omnipresent, whatever you want to call it, that is really unknowable for someone on this level of consciousness. But those are stories for other days. Family, it's been 5 years. It's been 5 years since we've been on this YouTube journey. And recently we were thinking we were winding up, because I'm here in the middle of paradise, family, right at the beach, beautiful home, like every possible wish is just granted. My farm is there. Like, I am at a point of such incredible happiness and gratitude, and it's like a full circle moment. But when I was meditating with my spiritual team, they actually told me that it's only just the beginning, and it's not going to be the struggle it's been in the old dispensation. It's not going to be a life and death situation like that like it was in the old dispensation. We're in a new era. We're in a new season. And all of us, we're getting a certain level of refinement that will now enable us to do what we're doing now, but on such a bigger level, especially, if you have already been in your calling, it's not over. We don't get to walk into paradise. We will one day, although this is paradise, whatever. We will be able to walk into other dimensions, to commune with the ancestors face to face. We will get there, but we are in a new dispensation, and this is when each and every one of us is required the most. Thanks to every single person that supports us on Patreon. We appreciate, love you so much. You are literally the sponsors of this show. And family, go ahead and consider supporting your favorite YouTubers, your favorite podcasters that look like I, so that we can get that new energy, that new narrative into the global atmosphere, forget the global atmosphere, into our group consciousness and our atmosphere, where that can be the quote unquote talk of town. Because we're fighting between like the gossip of this world, which is a really low vibrational thing, and the kind of the creation, the creative things that are happening, the transformative things that are happening, the great visitation that is about to happen. Those are the two different conversations that are contending for our group consciousness. So support those that you resonate with, that you feel their vibe. Otherwise, their spiritual team will call them to do something else. So I thought today I'd answer some of the questions that I get the most, or that I've gotten the most over 5 years, over the 5 years that I've been doing this. And family, 5 years ago, just a little background, 5 years ago, I started a YouTube channel out of anger, out of spite. It was during a political election here in Kenya. I'd literally been accused of bringing a bank down because of a tweet, and so I was blacklisted from mainstream media. Totally other story for a totally other day. And started YouTube to kind of, attack the kind of the elections, to expose the Masonic order. And I was talking crazy, because there was an ascension that was going on in me, where it was like I was being bold enough to see that, my grandmother, the greatest prophecy she ever spoke over my life is not a hair on my head shall be touched. And I guess, I had to confront those fears and confront the powers that be and everything. But they locked me out of the local space. And I found a home in YouTube, and I made some powerful enemies at that time. But then I quickly moved into a global audience. And because I had, family in the divided kingdom, family in the divided states, family in Europe, family in Suriname, big family in the Caribbean, that we were constantly, that we started to exchange energy with, and we developed this bond. Literally, that became my safety. And so for 3 years that I did this, because I had to move from talking about Kenya to talking about Africa, I mean, crazy things happened, family, where people were discussing in New York how I was going to get assassinated in Kenya because I was talking against the politicians. I mean, it got really crazy, family. And then to even realize, then to go beyond politics and realize it wasn't even about politics. This was an ancient war. This was an ancestral war. And my spiritual enemies had years, decades ahead of me because they saw me coming when I was in my mother's womb, family. They were told I was coming before, but they saw me coming and they did everything to stop me. And so it's been a tug of war. And then going to Europe, being a target of the MI6s of this world. I mean, it's not a joke when you talk about these guys, family. We're not joking on here when we do our Wake Up Africa news. And the saddest thing about that was that as much as we were talking about all the things that were being done against us internationally, it was our own that looked like you and I that were trying to take us out locally. But now that battle is over. That war has been won. It's a 5-year where it's a year of change. It's a year of transformation. It's a year of transcendence. And that's what these last few weeks have been for me and last few months. It's like, it's a whole new space now. We can't keep continuing to talk about what we've always talked about because that era is gone. That book of life is closing out. We're going to need healing. We're going to need to just psychological, therapy. We're going to need to have certain conversations because the mental chains are off. But many of our people don't know it. And there's many things I've learned in the last 5 years. You guys as my audience, as my subscribers, as people who genuinely loved me for who I was, have taught me humility. You've taught me discipline, because whether I was being poisoned, whatever was happening, please watch some of my story times. There was always that expectation that I would deliver, and there was always that interaction and that conversation. Every day I received love from you guys. I don't even want to cry. Oh my God, I've been crying so much. It's like the end of an era, but I received so much love from you guys, and I send that love back. I don't want to cry. Anyway, because I appreciate love you so much. And I think I have to actually even consider, writing a book about this, about what was happening behind the scenes, because I think then it would really put into perspective what, not just me, but what the global Black voice has been able to do, family. Because we've broken some major chains. And it's not just me, there's Infinite Waters. I know you all know him. There's many different voices. There's even some South African voices that I've discovered recently. The Squatters Corner. Check them out. Some brothers from the Zulus, the Agakoya and the Zulus, were linked somehow, some way. But family, it's been such a beautiful journey. And I haven't even gotten into the questions. And, I guess for me, the point of even sharing this is you can overcome. You can overcome anything. Nothing can beat you as long as you keep here in control, and as long as you have something that you're dedicated to, your mission, your greatest love in whatever form it takes, whether it's business, whether it's artistic, whether it's entertainment, whether it's entrepreneurship, as long as you have that thing that will make you wake up when you don't feel like waking up, that will make you show up when you feel too broken to show up. That's what it's been about. And I'm realizing now, family, It wasn't even about that. It wasn't even about that. It's about what's coming next. And the most humbling thing has been to accept that the dark wizard, and please, go check out, I'll link some of those stories here, but, when COVID began, a dark wizard came into my life, like a Voldemort, if you've ever watched Harry Potter, and it was the craziest 2 years of my life, but he has been the greatest teacher in my life. He's also my greatest adversary, but he has been my greatest teacher in the most painful of ways because I chose not to learn one way. And what I've realized with the ancestors and with my interaction with the ancestors, because they've been there from the beginning, and with my spiritual team, is that there's always two options, family. We can do it the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. And I think being a rebellious person, and a person who has been so filled with rage just because of everything had happened, even hidden rage, and like finally releasing that in a very deep ritual. And actually realizing that that was the root of anything. It's just like I'm in a profound peace. Profound peace, family. And I'm so excited about the things that I'm seeing, about the synchronicities in my life, about the people that I'm connecting with, about the people I'm interacting with, about how things are literally just manifesting into my life, from the words that I need to hear to the information that I need to get. It is such a beautiful thing to move with your ancestors and your spiritual team. And I guess I'll do a whole separate show on why I call it a spiritual team, family. Because I've realized as I've gone deeper that it's beyond just your ancestors. There's animals that you're connected to, nature, and so many other things. But those are definitely stories for other days. There's 3 or 4 main questions that I get from you guys. One of them being, do I hate white people? The second question is, why do I love to trigger Christians? And the third one is, what about those stories for other days? I think I'll cover those because this intro has taken so long. I'm so grateful for you guys. Let's take a short break. When we come back, I'll answer those 3 questions. Wake up, Africa! Welcome back, family. Welcome back. I have to find what to be saying in between. It is a new dawn. It is a new era. We are in the new earth, family, literally. And the new earth is first and foremost a state of mind. And, it's been 5 years. And to celebrate our 5th year anniversary, which is definitely the year of change, we thought we'd answer some questions from you, but we kind of got carried away in our story. But all I can say is all these people that you've seen on the front lines, family, bringing you information, exposing truths, bringing out however they do it, how they penetrate this reality with the message of the divine in whatever way that they do it. Appreciate love them because they have come under so much spiritual attack because many of them started this journey without knowing who they really were. But anyway, I'll get into that when I talk about the Christians. So, I get a lot of questions. Am I against the Mzungu? Do I hate the white man? And, I should talk more about us universally because we are all one, blah, 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 blah. And family, it is so clear to me that I'm not against the Mzungu. I went to school mainly with Mzungus. One of my best friends growing up was a Scottish woman, or Scottish girl, whatever. So I'm not against the Mzungu at all, but I'm here for the black man and the black woman and the black child especially. I am so clear about that assignment. And I know that a lot of Mzungus have reached out to me by email, a lot of Caucasians, asking me, am I chosen? What are my answers? I can't know because I'm not part of you. I'm here sharing, what my ancestors are bringing me to share, but it's not a for or against thing. I'm just here for my people. And you see, every great goddess, Messiah, Christ, there's some masters who are here. The master builders are back, family, 22. And the only way you can channel the divine is through your own experience. through what you've been through. And it's so crazy when you realize that your story is mirrored by so many. So when you reach out to me as a Caucasian and you say, you preach oneness, one tribe, one unity, whatever, that's not the message I'm getting from my ancestors. My ancestors have given me a specific assignment to speak to the Bantu. Not even all Africans, because not all Africans will even over in and understand me. I'm here to awaken the Bantu. The Bantu means the people. Oh, I was listening to this mystic man on the, guys, I've been binging on I think it's the Hustlers Corner. I think that's what it's called, South Africa. Amazing channel. And there was this South African, I think he's a high priest or something. And he was saying, Bantu even means the people of the sky. I know Ba means having that divine life force. So I am here for the Bantu. The Bantu are part of the Ashanti, the Bantu are the Agekoyo, the Bantu are the Luya, the Bantu are the Zulus. I mean, the Bantu were everywhere, family. I'm here for the people that their ancestors and my ancestors recognize each other. We're probably the same ancestors reborn for such a time as this. And if the message blesses you, if the message uplifts you, it's amazing. But I can't preach a message that I haven't been given. And it's not even controversial. And now we have to realize how much that message of this, fake global unity is being pushed. Because we can't have unity without accountability. And everyone, like there was this celebrity, this British actor, you can see him here. I don't even know his name, but the story kind of came up. Someone sent it to me on Instagram. And he was being tackled, hard tackled in the divided kingdom because he said he had a preference for women that looked like him and he didn't date out of his race. And so he got a heavy tackle. And I feel that there are a lot of our celebrities in Europe especially, and in the divided states, who are feeling like in order to reach a certain level, I need to be on this we are one vibe. And there's different people here, so I can't even tell you what to do. But if you're here on a mission from the ancestors, that is not an option. Because it's about ancestry, it's about bloodlines. You're here to clear up those bloodlines. Like there's a young man who emailed me and he's like, I'm in a relationship with a Caucasian woman. Tell me, is it right or wrong? He was an African man, a young African man who, I told him what the Spirit told me to share with him. But I'm not against anybody. I'm just for my people, family. And we have to be allowed to be here for our people, like seriously. And great, cheer us on, support us financially if you want. But just allow us to be here for our people. Because we're the ones who are in the deepest level of colonization because we got a fake freedom that was never even real. And we never we never dealt with the real colonization, which was of our minds. So even the physical colonization was some kind of magic trick to put us in a neo-colonial order. And many are still in that religious psychosis, like it's a battle. Which leads me to the next question. There's a lot of Christians who have been saying, I'm going to be damned in hell. Family, this is hell. Where I've come from is beyond heaven. It's even beyond heaven, family. This right here, this mental prison, this is hell. This is the hell they speak of, where you don't even know yourself. What deeper hell is there than that? When you don't even know who you are, what deeper hell is there than that, family? I've come from a place beyond heaven. And it's taken me a long time to accept that because I was in the religious psychosis. And I mean, one of the reasons I think is that because I started this channel 5 years ago as a prophet, and I used to have these prophetic Sundays, which would literally trend in Kenya, and I went hard. I exposed Masonic secrets. I exposed how we had been sold to this Indian goddess called Harambe, who I later found out is actually the Indian version of Sekhmet. I mean, it goes so deep, family, especially because it's the order of Sekhmet that is ruling right now, stories for other days. And so I've always attracted a very, these hardcore Christians who are in the deepest level of religious psychosis. They will betray you in an instant if you talk about Jesus. They'll abandon you in an instant. And I feel like the kind of, there's different groups in Africa on the motherland. There's those who are the progressive thinkers who have grown up one way, but they're learning and they're teaching their truth and they're having these amazing conversations about what it means to be from the motherland, what it means to be Agekoyo, what it means to be Ashanti or whatever family. And a lot of Christians are uncomfortable in that space, but that's the space I want to be in. Because I want to have the highest, form of realization that I can. And so sometimes I'll hard tackle the Christians just to clear up the air, to get the ones who are too Bible thumping out of the air so that we continue this journey. And sometimes it's just to plant that seed. Because there's many who damned me to hell that 2-3 years later reached out and said, oh my gosh, I came out of the Christian vibe and I'm so grateful. I was so angry at you then, blah, blah, blah. Now I've started my journey and I'm breaking myself from it. And that's great, family. I'm realizing now that those hard tackles are not necessary anymore in this new dispensation. This new dispensation is about sophistication. It's about elegance. Because we are the most elegant and sophisticated people in the universe here right now, family. And there's a certain finesse that we're going to use to change this world in 7 years that our enemies can't even see or predict. It's beyond their imagination. They don't even have the imagination for that. And these are close-guarded secrets among our ancestors. Even us among the front lines, they're only letting us know, okay, you'll be in paradise till December. Then we're going to move you to your new assignment. That kind of thing. Because I thought this was it, family. I'm living in such a beautiful place. I thought by the beach, let me now get a little property and just, put my hammock out and ride out my days. But no, this is the time when everything we've learned is for. And so the Christians, family, many of them have never opened a book, but it's like they were put under a spell. Baptism is a spell, and then you're hypnotized for the rest of your life or for as long as you're in the church. That's why it's so hard to leave. And I will definitely do a separate show on that. I know a lot of you guys have been even asking me to suggest some books. The Global Family has actually suggested some really good books to kind of break that religious psychosis. And all I'm saying is expand your thinking, family. Because we're in a new dispensation when so much more is possible. Expand your thinking. You've proved to yourself that you have faith, that you can believe in something so hard and so much that you're literally willing to put your children in it. You're literally willing to die for it. And we're reaching the time now where you have to now start questioning whether the thing that you're ready to die for is really worth dying for. You have everything spiritually, you have the faith, you have everything. But are you tapped into the right thing? But those are stories for other days. Tuko pamoja.